don't know if you have, but it's just like on the group meeting thing, it says like start it, and then we do the quiz together.
Yes. Wait, say that again.
So like on iLearn, it says group meeting.
Yeah.
So if you click that, it will say start, and it's a quiz that we're supposed to do together, I believe.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna click start then.
Yeah.
You want to start now? Yes. Okay, so yes. Ugh. And we'll both actively participate since we're the only ones here.
Yeah.
Okay. Researchers to determine material. Okay, so population would be, so they're designing.
So which one's your first question?
The researchers would like to determine if reviewing material consistently within an.
Okay, and that says the questions, which of the 5 steps of the statistical process? Okay, so for that one, I put design study because they're still trying to pick like which.
Yeah, they're still
observational study they're doing.
They haven't even like started. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Cool.
So the next one, 4, a researcher has collected the results of a survey. We get that's the same.
Yeah. Yeah. They're probably all the same.
I think since we got that, yeah. Researcher has the frequencies for each category. It computes mean number of hours watched.
So that one for 4, I was thinking describe the data. They already have the data and they're putting it into graphs to help understand it, I guess, and describe it. So
I agree. Describe the data because they already have it. They're not like making any inferences. They're just describing figuring out how to how to basically like interpret, but not like to the point that they're making inferences.
Yeah, exactly. So for 5, Mumbai, India is a quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well in the global economy. A marketing research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would support this fast food business. From a list of all registered taxpayers, 3,000 names are randomly selected. Each individual on the list is mailed a brief questionnaire. The researchers receive 1,049 responses. The population is. So I put the population is the 3,000 people who were mailed the questionnaire because I don't know if you have like the reading pulled up, but there was a part where it says,
I'm looking at it.
It's actually in step 1, design the study. It says, instead you will collect a manageable group of items called the sample from the entire collection of financial documents called the population.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because what they're describing, what they're trying to figure out is the people it's the list of all the registered taxpayers. So it's not necessarily Mumbai, but it's the taxpayers, those 3,000 so that makes total sense.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I put for that one. And then for the 6th one, it's the same situation, just it's finding the sample. So I put the sample is 1049 people who respond.
Because that's for
the 1,049.
They're representing the 3,000.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, I don't know. Like, it was just kind of confusing because, like, Hey, the sample could be 3,000, but they didn't get any responses from all 3,000.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm just guessing.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, what are the chances that you're going to get 3,000 out of 3,000, you know?
Yeah, exactly. All right, for 7, so quantitative and categorical, like quantitative is like a measurable number and categorical is like, what's your favorite candy bar? That's how I remember anyways. So on the first one, it has this situation, and then it says your teacher gives you a short 10-question quiz to see your score. So I put quantitative because that's measurable.
Yeah.
And then in the second one, it says, after the 6th day, your teacher asks you if you feel confident that you have retained at least 50% of the material. Answer yes, no, or not sure. So that would be categorical. And then
it's almost like
number 9, what?
It's almost like qualitative, almost.
Yeah, qualitative and quantitative, yeah.
So, class job. Your teacher also selects a group to give no review to the material over 6 days. So that would be the control group.
That's what I put, yeah. And then that's where I finished, so
okay.
10 through
just
17 I didn't read yet, so.
Okay.
Number 10, which of the following would be considered an experimental design? A telephone poll asking people about whether or not they vaccinate their children, administering a tuberculosis vaccination to one group and a placebo to another, a census, a mailed survey asking people whether or not they received the tuberculosis vaccine. So, like, I was looking for reading and, like, I couldn't find experimental design. I don't know about you.
Well, the experimental, here, let me pull up my little preparation thing. The experiment is they're like controlling conditions that then they measure the results of them, and then that like goes right with the, you know, like with the treatment, like there's a treatment and the control group. And so the experimental design has like a control and then experiment. So like, you know how they gave the thing with Daniel, like the example of Daniel?
Yeah.
And so his group was the experiment, like it's an experimental design, and his group was the experimental group or the treatment group, and then the other were the control group. So I would say that it's the administering the tuberculosis vaccine to one group and giving a placebo to another.
That makes sense. Okay, perfect. So 11, in a study to determine the average wage of working people in Mumbai, which of the following would be the best example or sample? Every 10th worker you meet as you travel the streets of Mumbai, all the workers in one working district of Mumbai, many randomly selected workers in each of the several working districts of Mumbai, or all the female workers. I would say many randomly selected workers. Is that where you get a sample from each group and then put them together?
It just seems to be like the most fitting for that particular group, like the least biased.
Yeah. Okay.
That's Jonas Salk.
12, you want to become the next Jonas Salk and produce a vaccine that will help cure children of respiratory syncytial virus.
RSV.
You test the vaccine and compare it to a placebo and randomly choose one group of children to take the vaccine, one group of children to take the placebo. What or who are the experimental units?
The experimental units are subject.
The
subject, let me look back at my notes. Subjects are the participants in the study. So it's all the children, regardless of whether or not they have the placebo or the vaccine. Like they are, oh wait, sorry, hold on. Oh, I'm looking, okay, yeah. Yeah, they're the subjects, the children.
I'm guessing units and subjects are the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing for the next one, but what are the treatments? So that would be
the vaccine and placebo. All right.
92. chance to move to less impoverished areas.
So I would say it's an experiment.
Yeah, because they're manipulating
the
things that are happening rather than just seeing what happens. If a p-value of 0.0002 was found for a study described by the actual observed result are one or more extreme, assuming the null is true. Okay, the null is true. What was the hypothesis? Okay. If getting people out of poor neighborhoods would reduce the poverty level. So the null hypothesis would be getting people out of poor neighborhoods does not reduce the poverty level. So that would be the null hypothesis. And, okay. And I wrote down, it kind of talked about the p hypothesis a little bit, the p-value. If it's low, you reject the null. If it's high, you accept the null hypothesis, or you don't reject the null hypothesis.
Okay.
So that's low number, right? See, like...
Yeah. So, but this one's just asking that if the p-value is 0.002, would there be a probability of 0.0002, which is like 0.02% that the null is true, and so that would be true, right?
The p-value...
There's only that null of a probability.
It's found in... Well, let's see. When in the lesson it said more about the p-value will be discussed later, and I'm like, but
yeah, it's kind of down at the bottom. I think it is. I don't know.
Let me go back to it. I just wanna.
Yeah, the p-value is the probability of obtaining a result, assuming the null hypothesis is true.
Okay, wait, I'm trying to find it again. Where? Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay. Yeah, probability. Okay, p-value is probability. Okay. So, okay, I minimized my little thing. So, okay, that's p-value. Then there's that. So that's obtaining the actual observed one or more extreme, assuming the null is true. So if the null is true, so basically the null would be that it doesn't reduce the poverty level, and that was the thing. So yeah, I think that makes sense what you said about there's that much probability, and so because the probability is small, then that means the null is true because it's low.
Yeah. Well, there's just that much probability that it will be true. That makes sense.
You just have to. You kind of, as you go through this, like in my head, I'm like having to like make statements and then like think about the opposite and then like the opposite again and then anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 16. Since the p-value is a low in question 15, the researchers could conclude that the results are significant in providing low-income families with an opportunity to move away from low-income neighborhoods does make a difference in poverty levels. So, was that the null hypothesis?
The null was saying it didn't matter. So, the value is low.
So,
back to my thing. Oh, wait, hold on. If it's, okay, wait, hold on. On the little thing, it says if the p-value is low, you reject the null. Okay, null is the status quo.
Okay. So if the null says that it doesn't matter, then rejecting the null would say it does matter.
Yeah.
So when it says to move away from low income neighbors does make a difference in poverty levels, which is true because the p-value is low.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
So matching the match the following.
Wait.
What?
Doesn't that mean that we should change our answer for 15 then?
No, because we're not saying the null is true. We're just on 15. We're just saying that there's like a 0.0002 probability that a null will be true, which is like a really low probability. It's like 0.02%.
You're right, because we don't have an actual p-value. This is just hypothetically like that's a p-value. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So collect data. So design the study is step 1. Collect data was step 2.
Design a study. A. Collect data. B. Describe the data is step 3.
Step 3. Make inferences, step 4. And then take action is step 5.
Yes.
So,
we have
all right.
A, B. Wait, hold on. Ha! Oh, I did the same thing on accident. Okay.
You're good.
Collect data was design the study, step 1. Just collect data, B. I just have to make sure my little numbers are matching up.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, that's what I did. Step 2. I wish it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I'm like,
Yeah, it'd make it so much easier.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and submit first.
Do you have C, E, A, B, D then? Is that the order it goes?
A, B, C, E.
Oh, totally different.
Because I have collect data first, take action second. Like that's number 1 is collect.
Oh, you froze. No. Amber. Collect data. Step 2. Are you back?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that was weird.
All right. So I'm going to submit and then I'll like make sure everything is right and we'll go through yours. Okay, so I got 94.
Okay.
Okay, so on number 5, the population is the citizens of Mumbai. So it's the whole population, which I was like debating like in between those.
I see.
That makes sense.
I thought, okay, I'm going to write this down. So
I think like 3,000 is like the sample they're striving for, but they only got a sample of 1049.
Mm-hmm.
And the other people would just, I guess, be thrown back into the population.
Yeah. Okay.
So that makes sense. Because, I mean, I guess they are doing the test for all the citizens of Mumbai, and not just the 3,000. Okay. So that makes sense that the citizens of Mumbai are the...
Dang it!
And then we got everything else right, so we're good.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it like that since, you know, it was a group.
Okay.
Because that would not be fair. 3,000 people who were mailed the questionnaire. Okay. Okay, so I'm just writing a note to myself. to understand better, like population.
Yep, you're all good.
Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. Glad we talked about like 15 and 60.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. And okay, so now we go through the homework, right?
I think the homework is either like, I think it's either or. I'm not sure if we're supposed to do that with people.
Hold on, I'm looking through the individual preparation. So it's like, okay, work through the problems. Okay. Use part 1 to take notes. Do that. Textbook reading. Then work through the problems in part 2 of the preparation. Were we supposed to go over that though? I thought he wrote that in the email, like to go over. I'm looking
well, in the activity directions on like the iLearn, it says, answer the questions found on the homework assignment. You're encouraged to collaborate with other students, but it is important that you do your own work, and then before working with someone else, you should attempt each.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to go over it again. Okay, yeah, for the group.
So I mean, we can each go over it separately, and then like, because we get 2 tries. If you want to, it's up to you.
2 tries for
the homework.
Okay. Okay. I'm still like getting used to like navigating all of this. Open the group quiz. You do it after your group. Okay. Oh, we were fine though with submitting our group quiz, right? Because we did it like after we discussed it. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Alrighty. Well, do we need to do anything else right now?
I think that's it. Unless you want to do the homework.
On the homework it says you'll fill this part out during your group preparation session. So I think we should.
Okay, that sounds good. I have it pulled up right now.
Okay.
So we can go through it.
Okay, I'm going to make mine bigger. Okay. So, medical student with the prevalence of aspirin. Researches prevalence of aspirin usage. By questioning all the patients will enter her clinic for treatment. Well, that's just...
Wait, which one are you on? Sorry, I think ours are a different order.
Oh, 6A. About aspirin.
Is this the homework 2, right?
Yeah, part 2. We can go over part 1 if you want, but...
Oh, do you mean the part 2 preparation?
Yeah, during the group preparation session.
Hold on, I think I might be confused. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me pull up. Hold on. I thought you were talking about the homework or the preparation part.
Well, it's on the homework. Oh, no, the preparation assignment. Part 2 of the preparation.
Okay. Let me pull that up. I thought you were talking about the homework.
Oh, no. Man, this will get so much more fluid the more familiar we get with everything.
Yeah.
Are you reading it?
It's loading right now, sorry.
Okay, help me understand, if you can, like the difference between stratified and cluster. Like I have them up, like the stratified, they're groups according to similarity. So it's like age, income, political party, or some of the examples. And then the clusters, just groups that hopefully represent the population. And then it was like the homogeneous and heterogeneous. Like, what's a good way, or have you like thought of a good way to kind of differentiate between those two?
Stratified and clustering?
Yeah.
Let me see 1 second. It's like not loading very fast. Do you just want to read the definitions to me again? Sorry.
So I like from my notes, stratified was the homogeneous. So it's groups according to similarity, like age, income, political party. Whereas cluster was groups that hopefully represent the population, and it's heterogeneous. So I'm just wondering what an example of like a clustered one would be.
So homogeneous is the same. So stratified would be like splitting them up in groups of like their favorite candy bar and taking like a survey out of that, like a portion out of each one, I think. And then clustered, I think, is just like splitting them up into groups without like having the same kind of
like just random groups
categories. Yeah, just randomly like picking.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking anyways. Because heterogeneous and homogeneous.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna have to like pay attention to that more, because for the on the homework, like the 6A's, a medical student researches the prevalence of aspirin usage by questioning all of the patients who enter her clinic for treatment. So I was thinking like it could be homogeneous because it's like all of the people like all of the patients who come to that clinic, but then it could also be like a cluster because it's like they may not necessarily be the same. I don't know. It just depends how you'd want to divide it up, you know?
Yeah.
Like from what you know, would you consider that stratified or cluster? Like I think I'm kind of leaning towards cluster, but then it's only the people from that group. I don't know.
So the people from the group are switched up by what?
I was thinking, well, what makes them the population? Well, let's see. Prevalence of aspirin usages. It's all the people, like the sample is all of the patients who come to that specific clinic to get treatment.
Okay. Sorry, it's pulling it up right now. My Wi-Fi connection isn't very good.
Are you in Utah, in Idaho?
Yeah, I am.
Are you on campus student?
I am, yeah. Are you?
No, I'm actually in Utah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, it just really doesn't want to load it. Something. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 6A.
Mm-hmm. I think it would be cluster. Tell me what you think.
Oh, I just pulled up lesson 3. I was like, it's not lining up. That's probably why.
Yeah, for a couple weeks. Well, do you want me to just read it to you?
Hang on, it's like barely getting there.
Okay.
I don't know why it's taking so long. Something with. Okay. Medical student researches the prevalence of aspirin usage by questioning. Okay. So, and we're using all of them, right?
Yeah.
All the sampling methods. So I want to say it's probably going to be, because it doesn't say like it divides them into groups or anything.
Is that cluster?
Well, cluster still like puts them into like groups.
Well, I would say it'd be a group because it's like everyone who comes into the clinic. So it's like patients who come to that clinic, but then there's not anything that differentiates them as far as like age or income or political party. It's just like everyone who comes to that clinic. I don't know. That's what I would say. Because
I want to say it's almost like a convenient sample though, because it's like easy.
I forgot about that.
And they just come in and like, because it's all in the same one.
Yeah.
There's a.
That's what I'm supposed to use. Where did I put that? Yeah, convenience sample should be avoided.
Okay, did you see the that it has an answer key as well?
Yeah, I just didn't want to go over it till we talked about it.
Okay, cool. I'm like super like use all resources kind of person.
Okay. Got introducing. Okay, maybe it might, yeah, because it is kind of haphazard, I guess.
Because it's just like,
I mean, if she phrased it, if it was phrased to be like, of all the patients who come to this clinic, like how many of them use aspirin, then that would be like a census. But this is just whoever comes through the door. So I think you're right. And you probably looked it up. So you probably were like, yeah, I know him.
Yeah, well, I just looked it up. I didn't look it up before.
Yeah, just. No,
but it does say convenience sampling.
Makes sense. Okay, I got systematic for the next one.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I got too.
And then simple random sample.
Uh-huh.
And then stratified, and stratified again.
Actually, for E, I was thinking it's cluster because it says I mean, it could very much well be like more than one, but I was just thinking since it's randomly selected hospitals. But I mean,
all cardiac
sense too, though.
I thought it would be like well, hold on. But I thought it would be a grouped, like according to similarity, because like of those hospitals, they're going to do the cardiac patients. Here, I guess we'll look at the answer key.
I was just thinking, because with D, it says like a dietitian has partitioned people into age categories and then the ages, and then she's simple randomly sampling 200 members from each category, and that's what they do, and like that's what they do for stratified is they always have simple random sampling from each group, and for cluster it's just like or is all items in one or more randomly selected clusters or blocks.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, and then the answer key says that one is clustered. So, okay.
Because I think I was thinking stratified first, just because like, oh, it's all the hospitals and all the cardiac patients. But then like on D, I like really knew it was stratified because of the SRS.
Okay, so to rephrase what you said, when we do stratified, you get categorical, and then it's a random sample of the categories.
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas with cluster, you have a group, and then it's random? No.
I feel like it's a group in a group kind of thing. Like, they did all the hospitals, and then they like took a cluster out of each one, and that was the cardiac patients. That makes sense.
Okay, so we're randomly selecting. Okay, so it's like backwards. So stratified, you have groups that you then take random samples from, whereas cluster, you have random samples that you then do like types from that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not like 100%
okay
good with
sure
defining that.
as we keep going. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
American AMA. Okay, I was kind of getting stuck on that one. Use a simple random sample. Okay, so maybe that's what we're talking about with this. Is that would be stratified then, right? Because you're doing.
Well, it says like you do the simple random sample, then you take samples of the patients that they worked with.
Cluster.
And so stratified, you usually do like the groups and then take the simple random sample, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they would have chosen the doctors and then taken the samples from their doctors' patients randomly. And so I thought this one was cluster because they do the simple random sample, which
First.
gets them, and then they do doctors inside those groups.
Yeah.
Or the patients inside the groups of doctors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Obviously, the next one is just simple random sample.
Yeah.
You don't even have to read that one.
Yeah, and then C, so they divide the residents up by gender, and then they do simple random sample, so I put stratified.
Yeah.
And then for D, I got systematic because they're choosing every fifth one.
Yeah, that one is, I like, yeah.
Yeah.
Every K.
And then for 8A, since they're just like grabbing the data of people and not controlling the environment, I put observational study.
Obtains current flu data.
And then for B on that one, I put experimental design because they're manipulating. And then I put for the response variable, it's the number of sleep they get, because that will be our result or response, or that we'll get from them. Treatment is the sleep is, or whatever, however you say that, or the placebo. And then the subjects would be the sample of 1,000 insomnia patients.
Yeah. Those are pretty simple.
Yeah.
Kind of like, know, 4th, 5th grade science projects.
Yeah, exactly. And then 9A, I put as an experimental.
Yeah, because they're doing.
And then for B, I put all the patients diagnosed with skin irritation. So what is that? 224.
Yeah.
Patients. Yeah.
With skin irritations.
And then
response.
For C, I put for the response variable.
Degree of skin irritation.
Yeah, or like the observed result in the treatment is what I put.
Yeah.
But that's, yeah, if they've gotten better or not would be the response or something.
Yeah, because it's going to be qualitative. Or what's the other? What do we have? We had quantitative and categorical.
Yeah.
So it'll be.
So I think, I don't know, you could do categorical for that. Like, oh, like, has it improved? Has it not improved? Has it improved a lot? Kind of thing.
Or maybe like, I don't know, you could measure like the redness or something and see if it diminished. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. And if it's gone like 50% down, then you could say like 50%. And then what are the treatments? I did the placebo, the 0.5% cream, and the 1% cream.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Okay. It helps. It really does help to talk about it all.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I like it. Well.
That looks like everything then.
Yeah, I think we got it all. So, when I stop this, I'll save and post, and then I'll just copy the link and put it in the discussion board.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Well, it was nice to meet you, Amber.
Nice to meet you too, Haley. Have a good rest of your night.
Thanks. Bye.